So you've been working on your mindset because you know that almost everything in life is better with a positive mindset. You've been working on self-growth and personal development, and you've been searching and looking for videos like this so you can learn how to improve your thoughts and actions so you can get better results in your life. But our lives can be stressful, and it's not always easy to keep the right state of mind as you go through your day, your week, your month, even your year. We need constant reminders to help keep us in the right state of mind as we move through our lives. As I said, we need constant reminders to be in the right state of mind because it's easy to default to the negative in response to the stresses in our daily lives. There's a tendency to just knee-jerk react to whatever comes our way instead of choosing our thoughts and our actions, being calm and controlled, and acting according to the values that we have set for ourselves. So here's an example. You're driving to work and you're in a good state of mind, but what happens? Somebody cuts you off and you get mad, you get angry. Now, is it normal to get mad? Sure, it's normal to get upset, but it's not normal or good to stay that way. And you're seething over this, and you go to a convenience store on the way to work, and something happens with the cashier, it's a small mistake, but you get mad and you're upset, and you normally wouldn't be upset, but you can't seem to let it go. And guess what? You're not mad at that cashier. You're still mad at the person that cut you off while you were driving. And these things add up through our day. And then you get to work and the stresses continue. Maybe you have a deadline that you have to meet. Maybe somebody in the administration said something to you that you didn't agree with, or you heard that somebody said something behind your back. So the stresses keep adding up. You can't let go of the person that cut you off in the morning, the convenience store where the cashier made a mistake, the stresses at work, and now you're driving home in bad weather, and you just can't let the stresses go. And you go home and guess what? You pretty much ignore everybody. You ignore your spouse or your partner, your children, you ignore your animals, or even worse, you snap back at somebody who didn't deserve it. And it's all because you were in a bad mood. And now everybody knows that you had a bad day. So how do you prevent this from happening? How do you prevent the stresses in our daily lives from keeping you in or putting you in a negative state of mind? Well, you've heard me say before that it all starts with awareness. Now, if you're the kind of person that's watching this video right now and you're continuing to watch this video as I go through it, then you're somebody who understands the state of mind that they're in. If that's true, if you're someone that understands their state of mind, then we need reminders of always striving for a positive attitude no matter what the situation. Remember, you have 100% control over your thoughts and actions in response to anything. Your ability to be in control and to stay calm, and your ability to change your state in the moment from a negative state to a positive state is amazingly powerful. It really is your superpower. Alice Walker said the most common way that people give up their power is not believing that they have any power. You see, don't give up your power by just reacting to whatever comes your way and being at the mercy of the world happening to you. Be in control. Be in control of your state and your state of mind and decide how you will act in any situation. So how do you remind yourself to have a positive mindset? Now, one of the best ways to remind yourself to be in a positive state is to use physical triggers. Now, a trigger is any stimulus that precipitates a feeling. So what are some of the physical triggers that someone can use to remind themselves to have a positive mindset or a positive attitude? Well, one of the simplest is a breath or a pause before you respond. Other physical triggers are using something like a silicone band with sometimes reminder statements on those bands to remind themselves to be positive. You can do other things like a ring. If you have a ring around your finger, that can remind you to be positive if that ring means something special to you. Or a physical object in your pocket, like a small stone from a favorite place, or a paper clip, or a shell from your favorite beach. Something that reminds you to be positive. Now, I think that those are all great physical triggers to remind you to have a positive state throughout your day. But what I think is the best physical trigger to help remind you to be in a positive mindset is a doorway. So think about it. When you walk through that doorway, it is a physical cue or a trigger that you are transitioning into a new space. Now, this will remind you of the mindset that you want to be in, have the intention of who you want to be when you walk into this room. So let's use that doorway example as you go through your day. The first door you go through is the car door, right? So let's say you're going to work. And as you enter your car, and anytime you enter your car during your day, always let that be a reminder to be in a positive state when you're driving. Now, I know that's hard, right? Sometimes people cut you off. Sometimes you have people that say advanced citizenship, or the elderly who are not driving safely, or young teenagers that are cutting you off, or possibly somebody who has road rage who's cutting you off and is actually driving angrily. Remind yourself to let that go. Wish them well. Short of actually hitting your car, you getting mad does not help the situation, and all it does is cause you undue stress. Remember, it's okay to get upset in the moment, but let it go. If somebody's displaying road rage, let that person go and let them go on their way and wish them well. You getting angry at them, they will never hear that. They will never feel that. They say that's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Don't let the stress of that affect you throughout your day. So try to stay in a positive state as you're in your car. Now, what being in the car in the beginning of the day also does is use it to get in the right mindset as you go to work. To be in the right mindset as you prepare to be in your field of work. Let's use the door to the convenience store, or any store that you walk in for that matter. When you walk through that door, you are intentionally deciding to be in a positive state in reaction or response to anybody you meet in that store. Good attitude or bad attitude. That way, you're not reacting to anything that comes your way. You are choosing and deciding to act according to what your values are and according to how you want to act. So now you leave that convenience store in a good mood. And you wish that cashier well and understand that the mistake they made is just a mistake and it's not going to affect you in a negative way. So now you get to the door at work. Now remember, that doorway is a physical trigger to remind you to be in a positive state of mind. Not always easy at work, right? So if you're a licensed professional, guess what? This is your reminder to be there for whoever it is you're serving. If you're an employee at a big corporation or whatever job that you're doing, it's your reminder to be the best you can possibly be at what it is that you're doing at the time that you're doing it. And you respond positively to whatever happens during your day. And if it's negative, remember you have 100% control over your thoughts and actions and how you respond. And now when you get into the car on the way home, this is your time on your commute to decide how you want to transition from work and leave the stresses of work at work, and decide how you want to be as you get home and be there for your family. How do you want to be as a husband or a wife or a partner? How do you want to be as a father? How do you want to act and be seen when you're there at your home? Do you want to be stressed and ignore everybody that's there and be in a bad mood? Or do you want to prepare yourself mentally to be in the right state of mind? To be there, to be a positive force, to be a positive energy in any way that you can as you transition. So when you walk through that physical door to your home, you're ready to be that partner, that spouse, that husband, that wife, that father, that pet owner, whatever it is. And you're being there in the way that you should be there when you're there, rather than allowing the stresses of the day, the week, the month to overcome you and control how you react and to keep you in a negative state. Remember, you have the control, you have the power. You can decide what your state is. Now, using the doorway as a physical cue, as a trigger to remind ourselves to have a positive state of mind throughout a day is a great tool. I use it every day since I've heard it. I think the first time I heard it was 10 years ago from Brendan Burchard. And then I think I heard it again from Tony Robbins as well. So now that you've heard this, I'm telling you, you will never look at a doorway in the same way. So I want you to go through your day and go through each doorway and say, how do I want to act in the room I'm transitioning to right now? And just a few great quotes to end you on. Joyce Meyer said, you cannot have a positive life with a negative mind. And Maya Angelou said, be the rainbow in somebody's cloudy day. Remember, you're in that convenience store and the cashier makes a mistake. Smile. Tell them you understand. Say no worries. That may be the best thing that they've heard all day. Remember, you never know what's going on in somebody's life. You don't know why that person cut you off. They may have been on the way to the hospital. You don't know why that cashier is having a bad day. Their pet might have died. They might have lost a loved one. You don't know. So always be nice. Be the rainbow in somebody's cloudy day. And Aesop said, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Now this week, I want you to use the doorway and some of those other physical triggers to help remind you to be in a positive state of mind throughout your day, to combat the stresses of our daily lives. Well, I hope this information helped you out. And if you're seeing this video anywhere other than my blog, go check my blog out at awakenyourwellnessnow.com/blog. Have a great day. And remember, as always, be positive, be motivated, be focused, and be well.